What is good, everybody? I hope you're doing well. I know it's been some time since I last hopped on the microphone to share with you guys. My real life has been crazy. I mean, I think it's been 4 or 5 weeks since the last video, maybe a tiny bit longer. And that is just because everything going on right now in my normal life, YouTube's not my job, it's just a hobby. The normal life stuff is amazing, and I don't think I've ever been this happy or busy. Maybe ever. Okay, like some periods of college were this busy. If you guys were subs to the channel in like 2012 or 13, you may remember similar periods of time like this. But yeah, it's awesome. I'm busy. My schedule's still going to be weird here on the channel for the next, I don't know, few weeks, maybe a month or whatever. But we'll settle into a rhythm just as Halo Infinite, hopefully, is starting to settle into its rhythm. So we've seen some Halo Infinite artwork. Is this hinting at a multiplayer reveal at the upcoming E3 event, which is less than 2 weeks away? And I certainly hope it is, because let's be honest here, guys, like, if Infinite is coming out later this year, like it's supposed to, and we're supposed to have flighting for this, we've got to start seeing some sort of information, some visuals for the multiplayer. Let's be real, if you watch this channel for the first-person shooter stuff or for Halo things, it's for multiplayer. That is where my heart is at. That's what I've enjoyed since the channel started, since 2011, and we're getting awfully close to Halo Infinite time, and I'm just way interested in seeing what this game is all about. Now, if you look at the actual Infinite artwork, I'm sure a dozen videos have already analyzed this. Very Halo Reachy to me. Honestly, when you look at these armor designs, I get a very Reach vibe. I mean, obviously, there's some straight up call outs to Reach. But if this is campaign stuff as well, then what are we seeing here? Some super Reach story elements coming back in? I don't know. But to me, multiplayer makes the most sense for this time frame. What do you want to see from Halo Infinite multiplayer? I really want to know about it down in the comments below. You may not get a full-on Monday Night in the Pit out of it, but seriously, what do you guys want from Halo Infinite multiplayer? It's a broad question, but really, what are the bare bones 3 things you just need to see? For me, I want to have a robust set of playlists and features at launch. I don't want it to be content light. I want the gameplay to be a nice blend between both modern and legacy designs. And then, of course, I really want the thing to work from day one. I know that sounds silly, but honestly, the two go hand in hand. Feature rich, lots of playlists, all the things we've come to expect from a Halo launch, like the Bungie era, Halo 2, Halo 3, even Halo Reach, like those games at launch, feature rich, not a 14-week, 18-week timeline of like, and then we're putting this back in, and this back in, and this back in, because I just think that spells disaster, man. Obviously, there's the benefit of the mini pushes for the marketing stuff, but those at the end of the day would have to be the 3 things that I'm most looking forward to. I'm more a classic guy. You know I'm more a classic guy, but I'm just so ready for a new Halo. I don't care at this point. I'm so fatigued. Like, the sprint debate, I'm exhausted with. I've had a great time playing MCC the last year and a half, and great. If the game's fun, I'm there. I'll play it. I just want to see Halo popular again. I want friends who I grew up playing the game with playing it again. Obviously, the Halo 20-year anniversary thing is just looming off in the distance, and it's pretty cool to me to look back and think about why I still play this game 20 years later. And it originally started with Halo CE. You guys may not remember this if you're a younger viewer, but you could actually go to Blockbuster. Shout out if you were part of the Blockbuster crew in the day. Go browse for a movie, all that jazz. You could rent an Xbox, like you could rent consoles. So I didn't actually own an Xbox back in the day, like the original OG with the big Duke controller. I got to rent an Xbox. My dad was like, hey, you gotta, we'll do this, we'll check this out, let's rent Halo. And I remember getting through Pillar of Autumn and then to Mission 2 on Halo, walking out and just looking at the big landscape. And I knew from that point on, I love this game. I gotta get an Xbox someday. That progressed to me playing, some 2v2s at friends' houses on like just gigantic maps and enjoying a little bit of LAN multiplayer Halo. But the true time where it really became like this huge passion that I knew I was like, I'm going to enjoy Halo probably forever was Halo 2. Now, I lived out in the country growing up. We had terrible internet, so I couldn't play online. I would play the campaign for Halo 2 on just every afternoon, practicing, doing this stuff. But my best friend had great internet. He lived in town, and I'd go over there once a week, and we would just play Halo 2 on Xbox Live with the communicator headset for hours and hours and hours. And he was a really good player, and it was very fun to sort of learn from him. That's where the BBK in my name came from. His name was BBK Bones. I loved this game called Legend of Dragoon at the time. And so it just made sense. Clan tags were a big deal back then. Lots of 3-letter clan tags. And the clan features in Halo 2 were super cool. The 1 to 50 ranking system was ridiculously cool. There was just so much done right with Halo 2 from the very get-go. And of course, it's the dawn of multiplayer gaming on the console side with matchmaking, right? Matchmaking was a big deal at this time, you guys. Halo 2 was one of the first to actually do it properly for a first-person shooter, where you weren't just using a server browser. And that became some of my favorite memories ever. Going over after school to my friend's house, and we'd move the gigantic tube TV, you know, the huge old CRT that weighed a gajillion pounds, and we'd just play in the living room until it was nighttime, eat some pizza, keep going. And I always remembered like 3 or 4 hours would just go by in a blink. Getting to play some of the earliest custom games, like back then when you could get into a zombies lobby, like Infection at the time. You had to press start and change team. It was the honor code system, but it was amazing. And truly, that is where my love for this series always is probably going to be at its peak, is playing Halo 2 on the original Xbox Live. If you were there, please shout out in the comments, man. It's incredible. Halo 3 comes out, and I'm in my late teens. I'm almost done with high school at this time. And I remember my dad, awesome dude. He went down, it was a school night. He went down for the midnight release, picked up a copy of Halo 3, and he woke me up the next day at like 4 a.m. He's like, go for it. You can play before school. So I hopped into the campaign. I played a few hours before school. And I remember I came right home from school and immediately hopped back in and grinded through the rest of the campaign. I finished it that night, literally singing the music during the final Warthog run. Almost emotional. Like, I think a lot of Halo players can admit the end of Halo 3 was a rather emotional moment. And finally at this time, even though my internet was terrible and we had data caps that would shut us off, I could play just a little bit of Halo 3 online. Most of my game time, I still had to go over to a friend's house to play it online, right? But I could do just a little bit. I remember playing ranked. Everybody ran a communicator back then. Everybody had a headset back in the day. If you went into the ranked playlist without a headset, that just didn't happen, man. People cared. It was such a cool environment and community, and the whole thing was just magnetic. It was a cultural phenomenon. It was on TV. It was everywhere, dude. It was huge. The Believe ad campaigns. It was crazy. In like your high school, you knew everybody who played. You knew their skill level, and you would always just end up either having them on your friends list or going over to a friend's house and having a big LAN night. It was wild, and I will always remember those memories super well. I was racing mountain bikes a ton at the time. I went pro as a mountain biker the year after this, and so I didn't end up playing a ton of Halo 3 in 2008 or 2009. But then college started. I went down and bought Halo Reach with one of my best friends from high school. He was a year younger than me, went to the same college, and again, every single day after class, he would come over to my apartment, and we would split screen Halo Reach online. Hours and hours and hours. Best memories ever, man. Absolutely some of my favorite memories of all time. And even though Reach wasn't Halo 3, I still loved the game at the time. And it still had that strong sense of community. Fast forward, the 343 era might be a good video for another time, but Halo 4, well, Halo CE A was in there. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, loved that. Loved the multiplayer for Halo CEA, the Reach mod, super fun times. Halo 4 came out, and I was pretty much at the end of college, and I was working super hard. I had 2 jobs, and the degree was like 18 and 19 credit hours, so I didn't have a whole lot of time to play. But I do remember streaming it with you guys. The channel was a little bit bigger at that time, and I would just do BTB streams and play with subscribers all night long, and it was pretty fun, man. Got 2 max level accounts, and even though Halo 4 was it was a journey. It was ups and downs for sure. I still found ways to have fun with it and some good memories there. MCC original launch the Dark Times. Yeah, that was tough, but gave me the opportunity to play Destiny 1 with a lot of people for a few years and have some really fun times on the channel. I never thought MCC would get fixed to the degree that it is now, and I'm really thankful about that, honestly. Halo 5, I don't know, that's also its own video. I found things that I liked about Halo 5 for sure, but it was also a period where I stepped away, because 5 I would definitely say out of every game is the one that I cared for the least. I also had terrible internet again at the time when Halo 5 was out, so it being so hyper competitive, the two just didn't pair well together. If I was where I'm at now, when Halo 5 launched, I would definitely have probably grinded it a whole lot more and gotten much better at it. Because I did the first few seasons as Onyx, but that doesn't count. Like, that game got so much harder, and the players got so much better at it. And now, MCC today. PC. Like, I've really enjoyed the last couple of years, man. Really, really enjoyed it. And if the Halo MCC experience the last year and a half is any indication, I've got great confidence for Infinite, because I want Infinite to be a 10 out of 10 game when it launches. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that. But maybe it will. I don't know. I don't want to be cynical. Like, maybe it's going to be super awesome out of the gate. But I do know with MCC, it has improved. Boom, 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 boom. Flight after flight after flight, month after month, more features. And it's a huge, sweet game now with lots of, I don't know, cool things and quality of life stuff that I never thought we were going to end up getting. So, yeah, hope Infinite's a 10 out of 10. I'm still sticking around because, again, Halo to me is more than just the game itself. It's the friendships, it's the journey, it's the like memories that are built around this whole thing and the community. And I know Infinite is going to bring in a new swath of players and grow this community and bring back a lot of friends who maybe I haven't got the chance to play with in a long time. So with that, my friends, let me know, what are the 3 things you want from Halo Infinite as we're entering this period before E3? And then also, maybe share your journey. Why are you still playing Halo? Or why are you still interested in it? I know there's a lot of players who still watch this content but don't play the game, and I totally understand that. I really am looking forward to whatever this next adventure is, because some of my favorite memories and friendships, dude, have come from this community and from Halo. And I know more of that's going to happen with Infinite, because that's how it is. You know, that's just how these things go. And I'm looking forward to that journey. So thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for being so patient. The channel's going to be weird, awesome real life stuff happening, but we'll get back in a rhythm. And then hopefully, you know, hopefully it's just an incredible fall leading up to Infinite. So thanks, guys. If you enjoy the channel, subscribe. You know, if this kind of content resonates with you, let me know. Ideas for stuff is always appreciated. Follow me on Twitter at BBKDRAGOON, and I will see you again next time.